Hello, everybody. Welcome again on the third day. Are you having fun? Cool. If you haven't, then this is the right place because we are going to have a lot of fun. Yes. So today, I'm OP Ravi. I'm working Microsoft for last 14 years, and I have done many things except the Ignite. This is my first session in Ignite. So today, Jason is also going to join with me from TransDelta to talk about his journey with Time Series Insight. So let's see what Time Series Insight is actually and why time series data is so important for all your businesses and what Microsoft is doing to help you in that area. So in April, we announced a new service called Time Series Insight for time series analytics. And it's a brand new approach that, hey, how we can democratize the analysis of time series data. It's a fully cloud-based solutions. It's make you super easy to start. Even if you don't have any domain expertise, you will make some sense out of that time series data. When we launched this service, I lost my mouse. Not during when I launched my service, but. So we got a lot of kudos from media, and these kudos were real. And when I'm saying real, it means they are unpaid. I haven't talked to them before I launched the service. So the goal here is that, for example, TechCrunch called us, hey, we are the time series database. InfoQ says that, hey, this is a tool for all the industries to do the time series analytics. Our personal goal is to become or to deliver the world best solution for time series insight or time series analytics. That's our whole goal or the mission which we started in April. I need to fix something here for a second. Sorry for that. So we are in 5 months of public preview. Service is available to public openly and anybody can use. In 5 months, we got hundreds of customers, which is an awesome response. And thank you if any of you have already used Time Series Insight. We are getting like customers from all the industries, whether it's a discrete manufacturing, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's retail, healthcare, you name it, and I think we have that customer. Either those customers are trying us right now in production for their real business problem, or they are in the early phases to try something new, or some POCs or prototype, how they can leverage cloud time series solution to solve their business problem. We are already ingesting hundreds of million events per day. And if I multiply that with the entire storage, that's already crossing trillions or lot of data. That's the whole point here. The tool is so simple and so easy to use that we are receiving thousands of queries daily. And when you build on service custom solution based on our APIs, we are receiving millions of queries daily. So that shows that how relevant is the time series problem for a lot of people. And that's the reason I believe most of you are here to learn more about that. So what is so special about time series? So today in this session, we're going to cover that, hey, what is so special? What are those problems customers are talking or worried about those things? Then what is Time Series Insight and how Time Series Insight going to address those problems? And then I have Jason, who is from TransDelta. He's a lead architect, and they are working with us as one of the early customers, and they are in kind of in phase 2 or 3 right now in the journey. And they are also going to share their stories, how they implement the time series solution for their old traditional solution on top of that. Towards the end, I'm going to cover what's new and coming soon. And I'm going to share a lot of resources. The key one is the free environment. What that means is that anybody, all of you can try today with that URL and play with the Time Series Insight without provisioning, without buying anything or anything else. Just go to that place and play that. So I hope, and we have a lot of cool demos. So I hope you will have a lot of fun. And if not, then we need to meet after the session. So let's begin. So what are the customer challenges people are facing today in the industry? Today, a lot of time series solution or time series data lives in the on-premise or in the silos. It's very difficult for anybody to look at the global view. If I have an enterprise which is having the factories in the, let's say in Europe and US and Australia, it's very difficult for me to compare how my energy efficiency is looking across the world and what I need to do to improve if something is better in the other place and how I can leverage those learnings. So that's the kind of a very common problem which we are seeing in today's world. Those solutions are very custom defined for your own business need. And there are a lot of things are already proprietaries. And that comes with a lot of cost. You can add money and the machine, then you can achieve everything. But cloud is the answer for that, and I will show you that how we can help in that solution also. It takes a lot of time for engineers or for data analysts to prep that, hey, when I adopt to a new tool, how much time I need to spend to change the schema or to align the databases, relationship, join, ETL, and all those things. That is not required actually or not directly benefiting to your own business task, but that is required to use those tools. So a lot of prep time is kind of waste time for your own business scenarios. It's extremely difficult to visualize all those billions or trillions of events in today's world. I'm not talking about here, hey, I'm looking one tag for last 10 years. I'm talking about looking the entire factory for last 1 year. I'm talking about looking the multiple factories for last 1 year, not just one or two tag or two devices, which is easy. I can draw the one tag or tens of tags for many, many years. But when I'm talking about all the global views, it makes difficult to visualize all those things. And we are going to help that, we are going to solve that, we have already solved that problem also. Security, I think that's number one ask from all the people. Hey, we need to have all the data, all those things are secured. It has to be access control. I want to have all the control, hey, who is reading, who is not reading, who has admin access and so on. So that's another problem or need custom. You need to learn there is a lot of learning curve in the existing solutions. You need to learn a lot of new languages. You need to learn a lot of new syntax, how to use all those tools. So these are the top problems which we collected from all those customers. And let's see what Microsoft is doing to solve or to help in these problems. So we launched a new service in April, as I said earlier, Time Series Insight, which is a fully managed cloud service. What that means is no provisioning, no maintenance, no infrastructure, no need to worry about deployments and all those things, no maintenance. So that's the power of this thing. So it's a fully managed cloud service for Time Series Insight, Time Series data analytics. It comes with a storage. So that means you don't need to worry about, hey, whether I should use the open source OpenTSDB or InfluxDB or Azure Data Lake or any other databases. It comes with its own storage to make you start really in minutes. It comes with a fully indexing, so all the data is fully indexed. That index will help you to query anything at any time without knowing your any column name or schema or anything. So you can search anything or and like a full text search. It comes with a visualization also. So that means you don't need to only worry about the database, you don't need to worry about the indexing, or you don't need to even worry about how I'm going to visualize that, because there's a lot of investment happening by all the customers to see that how I can visualize that data. People are using a lot of open sources visualization tool, or they are using a lot of dashboard solutions available inside on the cloud also. Last but not the least, we give you all the APIs also. From day one, all the APIs which I'm going to demo in my UX is available to anybody. So there is already customers who are already using APIs and build their own custom solution. And we'll talk more about that. So this is a fully managed solution. You can really start in minute, and I will show you that so that you can trust and you can believe on me. And you can start in minutes, you can scale really in seconds. It supports you like from 1 million event to 100 million event per day today. and there is a big plan to add more and more scale. So this is a common pattern you might have seen in the Sam George keynote or Santosh sessions about IoT Edge and all those things. Microsoft is still following the almost same pattern, which is simplifying the world for everybody. So if you look at that on this side, this is our event sources, all the data sources which are like devices or applications or the services. They are talking to cloud via IoT Hub or Event Hub. When the data comes to IoT Hub or Event Hub, then it's like a pub-sub model. Then anybody can subscribe and do a lot of things with that. Time Series Insight is another built-in service which reads from the IoT Hub or Event Hub without writing a single line of code by you. So as soon as you create your environment, Time Series Insight environment, and you connect to your IoT Hub or Event Hub, you will start using the Time Series portal or the exploration tool immediately without writing a single line of code. And then you can start with all the works for all the exploration, analytics, and presentations, and all those action what you want to take. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to interrupt. And if we are running out of time, I will push it to later. But if you have any question in between the burning question, feel free to ask anytime. So now you see that how the flow looks like. What is the time series solution overall is basically it's a cloud service. So let's see a basic demo that how you can start in minutes. So for that, if I go to Azure portal, so this is Azure portal, and if you go to just click on the new and select either IoT or the big data data services. So, oh, you can't see. Wait a second. Let me duplicate everything. Okay, it's coming. Should I duplicate or extend?
Just duplicate.
Oh, where is my mouse on this? Okay, it's here. Okay, okay. Okay, back in the business. So if you go to Azure portal and go to the IoT, Internet of Things, simply click on the Time Series Insight, which is in a public preview available to everybody. So you can simply say, okay, I want to create a new environment. You can select something. Ignite. Demo. You can select your subscription, whichever subscription you want. Select your resource group, whichever the resource group you want to create, existing one or you can use the existing one or create new. Select the region. Today, Time Series Insight is available in the two main continents, Europe and the USA, and we are going to add more region soon or later as per the demand comes from all the regions. So I can select anything. You can select your scale immediately, like, hey, you want to push 1 million event per day or so, and just click on the create. There is some thing going on my side. Sorry for that. I lost my mouse and okay. So if I click on create, it will create your Time Series Insight environment in minutes, and you are good to go. So it's creating right now. The next thing what you need to do is you need to just connect your IoT Hub and the Event Hub, and you are really literally good to go. So if I select one of the existing environment, for example, so once your environment is created, you can simply come here and say event source, add your IoT Hub and the Event Hub. So my environment is ready actually, the deployment succeeded. So now the environment is ready, even I can play with that environment. But to show you guys, you can simply select your IoT Hub or Event Hub And once your environment is created and you have added the source, you can simply click go to the environment or explore this thing. If you click on that, you will have all the time series insight and portal, the analytic portal available to you to explore your data. The latency between the event sources to the portal is less than 1 minute. So that's the key here. So it's a near real-time solution. So in 1 minute, we will not only allow you to do the visualize, but we also index everything, whatever is coming. We infer your schema on the fly. It's a schema adaptive system. So if you notice, you as a customer, you haven't told me about your schema, you haven't told me about anything about your data, what is your payload looks like. You just create the environment with your what is the ingress rate or what is the storage capacity you want, and you are good to go in minutes. So really I'm started so you see that I can start in minutes. That's the key here, one of the key. So let me go back to the presentation and see if I can get it back easily. Okay. So what are the top customer scenario we are solving with this time series insight or time series analytics? So the first is the IoT validation and monitoring. As soon as you start with your any IoT connection, IoT project or the solution, you have the device or the thing which is connecting. Initially, I have few customers today in production which are using time series insight. So the solution earlier, before time series insight, to set up and deploy any new devices, it used to take a month for them. So the process kind of like this. They bought the new devices, connect that thing, and all the internet connectivity after that, operators or the engineer operation team set up that thing, and then the analysts start getting the data. Somebody is going to generate the report, and then somebody need to analyze that report and then give the feedback. Hey, you need to change the threshold, or you need to change this configuration, you need to make all those changes. And this loop continues for many, many cycles, and that takes really a month. With time series insight, you can do that in minutes. So those customers are able to achieve that from months to hours. So that's kind of efficiency improvement they have seen that thing. Because as soon as you connect your device, you can see your data in minute, and all this configuration can be changed, and you can see the near real-time data. So time series insight not only show you the near real-time data, because it comes with the storage, so that means you can see the historical trend also, and which I will show in my demos. So the next common scenario is that, hey, as I said, that visualizing is a problem, looking at that scale. So time series insight solve that problem also. You don't need to have your own custom dashboard or custom solution for visualizing this problem out of the box. You can see that, hey, time series insight comes with the complete package, so that you can see that immediately visualization also. You can see the global view because you have the cloud power. If you have environments in the Europe, US, you can see all those things together, and we'll show that also in my demo also, which is a kind of a very painful task in the current scenario when you have the on-premise data, and when we are talking the data here, we like terabytes or petabytes of data. Root cause analysis or discover anomalies is the very common scenario that, hey, if you have all those devices and if there is a problem in one device, how I can see that problem. So this not only solve the reactive problems that, hey, when I receive an alert or alarm, I can definitely investigate, but it allows you to see the trends, the past or the correlation that, hey, how I can see the overall improvement in the system. And the last, as I said, it comes with the APIs for any custom need also. If you have our UX, that's great. If you want any custom specific thing, like you want to build something like a building solutions or those things, you can use our APIs also. So with that, we covered what is time series insight and what are the top scenarios we are going to be addressing with the time series insight. So now I want to introduce Jason, who is coming from the TransDelta. He's an architecture lead there, and TransDelta is already start looking a lot of benefit from the time series insight, and I want to welcome and pleased to have Jason to share their story.
Thanks, Opie. Everybody hear me okay? So like Opie mentioned, I'm the lead architect and integration lead for TransDelta. We are a 100-year-old company. We're very used to change. We have grown from a single hydro plant back in 1911 to over 65 facilities. We're also the largest wind producer in Canada. Our business is changing. We need to change the way we do the things we do. Our asset base is evolving, so we're going from less fossil-based, more green-based. As a result, we need to actually change the way we approach how we do things. Coal plant takes 3-4 years to build, a wind farm, 12 to 18 months. So we need to be able to process the real-time data as it comes from those facilities, as it's available. Currently, we're on a journey which is a little bit larger, where we're moving our entire infrastructure from our on-premise data center out to Azure. That opens up a lot of opportunities for us. So right now, we're really focusing in on areas of opportunity as platforms. Still there? Okay. Platform time and give us the ability to increase our time to deliver to the business or improve our time to deliver to the business. It also gives us access, our ability to access data in a different way. Time series data is critical, especially for the operations side of our business. We're always looking at ways to optimize and improve performance out of our assets. So real-time or near real-time data is used everywhere across our business. Time series insight has become a cornerstone of the evolving technologies and architecture that we're implementing at TransAlta. Currently, we're using it to monitor operations. We're also using the data out of it to actually model some of our opacity. So we're doing machine learning straight out of time series insights into custom-built Python models that enable us to take a look at what our coal plants are actually putting up the stack. This is an overview of our architecture. One of the keys for our architecture is the fact that we have been an OPC-based data collection environment for over 15 years. So with that back end, we were easily able to layer on OPC UA and quite literally within hours implement data from some of our wind farms into TSI and actually derive value from it the same day. Currently, our first phase project has actually got 4 of our wind sites in it, so we're collecting 4,000 tags. We're collecting that at about 200,000 messages per hour. That's a big number, which means around 6 million events per day, or 120 million events per month. So that's just off of 4 wind farms. We have 20 wind farms. We're expecting our data to grow to about 1.6 billion messages or events per day. And now we're going to take a look at some of our data.
Okay, so I need to do something.
There we go.
Why is like this? Sorry for that. This is like our setup was not able to do it properly, so apologize for that part. And yes. Yep. So this is the environment which has around 100,000 events per hour.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at just the basic events. And as you can see, Opie's going to drill down into our data. See how quick that was. So even in a traditional real-time data environment or a historian environment, there's still a time lag to it.
Oh. Okay.
So now Opie can actually split this data down and so we can see which plants are producing which data, right? So, and again, quickly, there you go. We can take a look. We can see the descriptions of the plants. We can see what information or what events is coming from each one of those facilities. So we can take that even further, and we can now take a look at the description. So we can now drill down very quickly and see all the descriptions for all the data points that are coming into a particular facility.
Grid power.
Yeah. So on the fly query, so this is basic English language querying. We don't have to do anything special. So our operators and our Plant 4 operators can actually simply log into the tool and find the information they're looking for without actually having to know details about the tag names or the environments where they're collecting. So beyond that, we can save queries. So we can now take a look at wind speed over power output. So when we can now correlate from a wind farm, we can easily see what the wind is like, what our power outputs are, and we can drill in to see if we are having any anomalies or issues in our systems. Furthermore, we can extensiate that over different assets. So we can watch the performance of one wind farm compared to another wind farm with a few simple clicks. There you go. I think we're looking at the output of
So this is Ardenville, this is
Ardenville and Somerville.
Yep.
So two different facilities, same basic region, but again, we're looking at that data as it's happening. And we can extend it over across multiple assets.
Yep. You can see the raw data.
And this is actually an incredible feature. With the click of a mouse, we can actually pull in and see what the raw values are looking like. And from there, we can actually add attributes to it. So we can get more definition on the tag name, or the description, or the engineering units. It's all available at the click of a mouse. So what does this mean for us? As we take a look at growing, expanding our fleet, trying to be more agile for our business customers, we now have the ability to add more data to the environments without having to add more cost. So I'm not as worried about expanding my historian environment when I can pair the two data sets together and actually visualize it through time series insights. We can quickly, within days and weeks, develop prototype solutions for our business customers to ensure that they're getting the value they need as quickly as possible. And we don't have to build the concrete, fixed in concrete infrastructure that typically goes along with a real-time environment. We have the ability to actually quickly spin up these environments. So like Opie alluded to earlier and showed earlier, you can quickly, as long as you have your data available, you can quickly tie into TSI. We got this first phase done literally in a morning. We had a conversation with Opie, we set up our IoT hub, we plugged it into TSI, and we started seeing data coming out of our real-time environments immediately. We're actually a little bit surprised. It was quite a win. So, really appreciate everybody taking the time to hear us talk. If you have any questions, please feel free to talk to me. Thanks a lot, Opie. I appreciate it, and I look forward to sharing more of our journey as we go down the road and maybe at Ignite next year. Thanks.
Thank you, Jason. So that was a kind of a glimpse of that, hey, how you can see the billions of events in really in minutes or seconds. Actually, I was not even a wind farm expert, and I was able to drill down very quickly. So it's not about only the UX, and I will show you more demos. It's about APIs also, right? As I said earlier, that it's a complete solution. It comes with the APIs also. So you have seen the UX, and I will show you more in a bit. But let's talk about, for a minute, that, hey, it's a SaaS versus PaaS solution also. So all the APIs are available today in publicly. You can build your solution. There is an environment, there is a data availability, there is a management API, there is a reference data APIs, and so on. These are the top 3 examples which already people are using. So last year, or in April, we have also announced Azure IoT Connected Factory. So Connected Factory is also using time series inside APIs for the time series data analytics. In the Sam George session, you might have seen the Steelcase story. So Steelcase is also using time series insight for building their smart building solutions. And IoT Central, which is coming soon, is already in private preview, and they're also using time series insight APIs. So what that means is that, hey, you can not only use our UX, but also build your own custom solution if you need to build based on our APIs. So what is our future looks like when we have all those things together? So what are our next focus or next step? So we are building the reference data experience, because as you know that reference data is very critical for all the telemetries and all those IoT data. Without reference data, it's very difficult for you to slice and dice or augment your data. So when I'm saying reference data, think about that, hey, you have all the devices which is sending only the ID, values, and timestamp, but that doesn't mean that I can say that, hey, which floor, which room, or even Jason cannot find out that, hey, this belongs to Summerview plant, or this belongs to Summerview 2 plant. So all those data coming from the reference data. Reference data usually doesn't change that often, but we allow you to do all the reference data join at the ingress time, so that you can slice and dice that very effectively. We are also working, so today you can have the retention up to 1 to 100 days, and we are working to increase that retention. There's a multiple time zone support is also coming soon, because time zone is also very critical, because if I have a plant in different region, and if I need to compare that days of that time, day of that region versus day of my region, then it's a very difficult today, because devices can send the UTCs or different time zones, so we are going to support that. There is a high demand for having the integration with Power BI and the Excel sheet, kind of to do the ad hoc visualization also via Excel sheet, also ad hoc calculations. And there's a lot of other integration things are coming up. So let me show you what is the reference data UI looks like. So this is like a early preview of the things which is in a private preview right now for some of the customers. So you see that how easy it is to slice and dice this data. But it will be imagine if I have only 4 columns, the tag ID, value, and the timestamp, and maybe the quality or the status. You cannot make sense out of that. So for that, what we are releasing is this reference data, which you can simply upload via simple file, or you can have your own things. So the same JSON environment has 2 reference data joined with that. So one shows that the reference status code IDs, what does that status code ID mean actually? And the another one is coming with all other properties which is related to the tag IDs or the GUID IDs on this one. So now this tag ID is joined with all the stream telemetry which is coming from all the devices, and I can join, I can slice and dice and look at what are the units they are sending, or what are the plant name and all those things. So this is the data which makes that telemetry or the device data more meaningful. And this is very easy to start, so you can simply say, okay, I want to add let me show you some quick example on that one. Sorry for that. This multiple screens are causing a little bit problem. Yeah, 1 second. Let's go to that one. So this is the last demo. I want to show that, hey, how we can not talk about Disney when we are in Orlando. So you see the wind farm scenario, but let me show you how you can even use the time series insight for the Disney's data, which is coming live from all those Disney's public APIs, which data is available publicly. So can you guess which is the most famous ride in the Disney? Or how many people have visited Disney? Or I believe most of you, right? So I believe the waiting in the line is the most famous ride in the Disney. So let's see how Disney data looks like and see which is the Disney's. Sorry, I'm struggling with this multiple screen here. Okay. So one of my friends actually connected with the public APIs with the Disney data, and this is the Disney data coming live. So let's see last 7 days how it looks like. So I selected now around 3.4 million events quickly. You can simply slice and dice this data with the park name or something, anything. So okay, let's see which park I'm getting this data. So I'm getting this data from Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and all those things. So if I want to see that, hey, I want to see not just how much data I'm receiving from them, but I want to see the wait time in each park. So you can simply select the wait time. So it looks like the Animal Kingdom has a lot of wait time, but that's the whole park wait time. I want to see by the individual activity or individual park. So I can simply select the names of all these activities or all these theme parks. So it looks like the Avatar Flight of the Passage is kind of having the most waiting time. So now you see that, hey, in the morning time, it looks like more wait time. So if you want to visit the Avatar, this theme event, then I would recommend to go in the evening side so that you have a less waiting time. The another thing which you see in the park that, hey, sometime you go to some of this event area and then you see that, hey, the theme park or that event is already closed. So what you can do is that also you can quickly analyze with time series insight. So for example, if I simply say that, hey, I want to see this data via status, show me all this data via status, and let me hide this thing. So there's 3 status going on for all this theme park activities. There is operating, closed, and down. So I want to see that, hey, which park is actually closed. So I want to see again the split by, show me all the closed park by name. So these are the parks which are kind of closed. So the trend line is interesting to see the historical trend, but we have one important visualization here called heat map. So this heat map shows you that, hey, okay, what is looks like this. So if I see that Splash Mountain is mostly closed, or I don't know, something happening there or what's going on. But if you see that, hey, there is an event, you can quickly, easily spot that what is happening in this activity area by looking the heat map. What is the output, what is the outlier, and so on. And this heat map is also interactive. You can also select any area and zoom or explore. If you say explore again, you will get the data from that particular selected area, which is very important for looking the outliers or some of these anomalies and so on. You can easily visually spot all those things. So this was the last demo which I want to show you that, hey, how you can use time series insight not only for the IoT scenarios, but for any time series database. Let me go back to the deck. So these are the resources which you can use. The first link is very important. It's a public free demo, so demo environment. You can try without provisioning anything. You can play with the environment, see what's the capabilities you are looking for, whether it meets or not meet. You can look at all the documentation and all those things. This one is another interesting sample app, a pre-configured solution. So one of my colleagues created a sample app in the Twitter that how you can receive the Twitter data into time series insight and analyze that. And he just created this in a couple of hours. And the cost of this per day is like $12.45. So it's a very cheap and very overall, it's a complete solution. So if you want to play with your own Twitter account or all those things, you can simply go to this pre-configured solution and create on this deploy, and you will have the pre-configured solution with all the Azure services. So with that, I'm open for any questions or anything which you have, or feel free to reach out to us as a TSI PM team, or you can follow us on the Twitter at MSFT Azure TSI. So any questions or anything? So overall, thank you. Thanks for your time again, and please evaluate the session and look forward to see you again. Thank you.